I have this 4-foot by 9-inch pine board, and I have these different stencils you can find at Hobby Lobby. One says home, one says go away, and the third one says welcome. They are all $5.99, and you can find them in the stencil section. I'm going to be using my welcome one. I'm just centering it onto my pine board, and once I have it placed down nicely, I'm going to surround it with some painter's tape. Next, I like to dump the paint onto a paper plate. Use a small foam roller, especially for larger stencils like this, and I roll the paint on. Now you can see here I have 2 paper plates. The first one is where the initial paint was poured. The second one is where I roll the roller onto to kind of unload some of that paint. I pass over this a couple of times, and then I'm going to remove the stencil. If you want, you could take a small art brush and just connect all of your letters. I found this floral stencil from Hobby Lobby. Now, what I like about this board is I'm just kind of showing you a technique. You can use any stencil of your choice and really anything that you're going to like in your home. So I placed the stencil on the top of the board, coming from the left side, and I rolled the paint on. Now this stencil was a little tricky for rolling, so I just wanted to show you that you can also use a small foam dabber. I took the stencil once it dried, flipped it over, and then had it coming from the bottom right of the board, and used the foam dabber to dab on the paint. I just had this stencil, I believe it came from Hobby Lobby. I'm using the butterflies on it, and I'm just randomly placing them on the board to make it look like the butterflies are flying around, and again, I'm using the foam dabber for that as well. I put one here on the left side, and then I placed one kind of towards the bottom next to the M on the right side. Now, I had no prep for this board. I literally just took the pine board and started choosing my stencils, and I'm using the Wise Owl Snow Owl paint. So once I had the design complete, everything was dry. I'm just lightly sanding any imperfections. If you had a little bit of bleeding, that's kind of what's nice about this technique, is it does not have to be perfect. If you do get a little bleeding, don't stress it. Just lightly sand and remove your sanding dust. Okay, so next we're going to take our General Finishes Antique Walnut Gel Stain, and I'm going to place it onto my board. I just place it on with a popsicle stick, and now I'm taking a paper towel and I'm going to rub it all in. And as I rub that gel stain and as everything starts to dry, the white paint that we applied first kind of starts to pop through a little more. Now this isn't going to be a very crisp white, it's going to be an off-white, which is the look I was going for. Now certainly if you want something a little more crisp that's going to pop a little more, then you're going to do your gel stain first and then the stencil on top of it. But I just love how this came out. This really matches a lot of my home decor. And then I'm going to use my B10 or B12 block brush to apply a top coat. I'm using the Wise Owl varnish, and if you do a couple coats of the varnish, this will be good for outside protection. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials over on our webpage. Have a great day.